Ladies and gentlemen, what is it that we truly seek in life? Beneath every desire, whether it be success, relationships, or material wealth, lies a longing for something far deeper: peace. And yet peace is not something to be found in the world outside. It is already present within you, waiting to be realized. When you walk through life anchored in this inner stillness, no challenge can truly disturb you. The mind may create noise, the world may shift around you, but the calm within remains untouched. The mind is a powerful tool, but for many it is also the greatest source of suffering. Most people live in a constant stream of thought, analyzing the past, projecting into the future, and interpreting every experience through the lens of conditioned thinking. This creates an illusion that peace is something to be attained later after certain conditions are met, when a problem is solved, when success is achieved, when life becomes perfect. But this is a never-ending cycle. The mind always finds a new reason to postpone peace. True calmness is not something we attain by thinking more, rather it emerges when we step beyond thought itself. The restless activity of the mind is what creates anxiety, stress, and discontent. Thoughts are never still. They jump from one concern to another, drawing us into narratives that often have little to do with reality. Yet beneath all this movement, there is an unchanging presence, a stillness that is not dependent on external circumstances. This stillness is always there, but it is obscured by the noise of the mind. To experience this calm, one does not need to suppress thoughts or force the mind into silence. That too is just another form of struggle. Instead, one simply needs to become aware. The moment you observe your thoughts without identifying with them, a space is created between you and the mental noise. In that space, a deeper awareness emerges, one that is not entangled in the stories the mind tells. This awareness is the source of true peace. Imagine sitting by a river. If you focus on the rushing water, the movement, and the noise, your attention is drawn outward, into the flow of constant change. But if you shift your focus to the riverbank, the unshaken ground beneath, you realize that there is something stable, unmoving, and ever-present. Your awareness is like that riverbank. No matter how turbulent the thoughts may be, the deeper part of you remains undisturbed. Many people spend their entire lives chasing an image of success or happiness that the ego has constructed. But even when these goals are achieved, the sense of fulfillment is fleeting because the ego immediately shifts its focus to something else. Real freedom comes when one stops chasing and starts being, fully present, fully aware, and unattached to any particular outcome. This does not mean withdrawing from life or losing ambition. It means acting from a place of stillness rather than desperation. It means creating, working, and loving without the constant fear of loss. The less one identifies with the ego, the more effortless life becomes. In this state, the mind is no longer a source of suffering, but a tool that can be used consciously. And in that space, the calm within is revealed, untouched by the ever-changing world. Awareness is the key to discovering the calm within. Most people live on autopilot, reacting to life rather than truly experiencing it. Their minds are filled with thoughts about the past and future, caught in habitual patterns of worry, judgment, and distraction. This unconscious way of living creates inner turbulence because it disconnects them from the only place where peace can be found, the present moment. Awareness is the simple act of noticing, seeing thoughts as thoughts, emotions as emotions, and sensations as they arise, without getting lost in them. It is the shift from being absorbed in mental activity to observing it with clarity. The moment one becomes aware, a space is created between themselves and their experiences. This space is where calmness naturally arises. It is not something that needs to be forced or achieved. It is already present beneath the noise of the mind. Awareness reveals that thoughts come and go, emotions rise and fall, and circumstances change. But there is something deeper that remains unshaken. This deeper presence is the essence of true peace. Most people, however, do not recognize it because they are too identified with the movement of their thoughts. To cultivate awareness, one does not need to withdraw from life or practice complicated techniques. It is as simple as pausing and noticing what is happening right now. The feeling of breath moving in and out, the sensation of feet on the ground, the distant sound of birds or passing cars. These simple observations bring attention away from mental noise and into direct experience. In this state there is no struggle, no resistance, only presence. The mind may still generate thoughts, but they no longer pull one away from the now. Instead, they are seen as passing clouds in the sky of awareness. When awareness deepens, a profound shift takes place. Life is no longer seen as a series of problems to be solved, but as an unfolding moment-to-moment experience. The need to control, resist, or escape reality dissolves, and with it much of the stress and anxiety that people carry. Even in difficult situations, awareness provides a sense of spaciousness. One is no longer completely identified with emotions like anger, fear, or sadness. They are simply noticed and allowed to pass naturally. This does not mean becoming indifferent to life, but rather approaching it from a place of clarity rather than reactivity. This shift in awareness transforms every aspect of life. Relationships become more harmonious because there is no longer the unconscious need to defend or prove oneself. Work becomes more meaningful because it is no longer driven by fear or a restless desire for achievement. Even simple activities like drinking tea or walking become moments of peace when done with full attention. The external world may remain unpredictable, but the calm within is always accessible. It is not something to seek in the future, but something to recognize right now, in the quiet presence of this very moment. The calm within is not something distant or difficult to attain. It is already present beneath the constant movement of the mind. Most people spend their lives searching for peace in external circumstances, in future achievements, or in the approval of others. But true peace is not found in the ever-changing world outside. It is uncovered by turning inward, by becoming fully present, and by recognizing that awareness itself is the source of calm. When we stop identifying with thoughts, when we let go of the endless pursuit of control, and when we simply observe life as it unfolds, a deep stillness emerges. This stillness is not fragile. It is not dependent on conditions being perfect. It is the unshaken presence beneath all experiences. Whether life brings joy or difficulty, whether the external world is in order or in chaos, this inner calm remains untouched. This shift in awareness transforms every aspect of life. Relationships become more harmonious because there is no longer the unconscious need to defend or prove oneself. Work becomes more meaningful because it is no longer driven by fear or restless desire for achievement. Even simple activities like drinking tea or walking become moments of peace when done with full attention. The external world may remain unpredictable, but the calm within is always accessible. It is not something to seek in the future, but something to recognize right now, in the quiet presence of this very moment. The calm within is not something distant or difficult to attain. It is already present, beneath the constant movement of the mind. Most people spend their lives searching for peace in external circumstances, but true peace is not found in the ever-changing world outside. It is uncovered by turning inward, by becoming fully present, and by recognizing that awareness itself is the source of calm. When we stop identifying with thoughts, when we let go of the endless pursuit of control, and when we simply observe life as it unfolds, a deep stillness emerges. This stillness is not fragile. It is not dependent on conditions being perfect. It is the unshaken presence beneath all experiences. Whether life brings joy or difficulty, whether the external world is in order or in chaos, this inner calm remains untouched. Awareness is the key. The more we bring conscious attention to the present moment, the more we realize that we are not our thoughts, not our emotions, and not the shifting stories the mind creates. We are the space in which all experiences arise, the presence that watches without resistance. And in that realization, the struggle ends. There is nothing to chase, nothing to force, just the simple, undeniable reality of being here now. So let this awareness guide you. In every moment, in every situation, remember that peace is not something you must seek, it is something you must notice. The calm within has always been there. It has never left you. It is simply waiting for you to remember.